Almost forgot the cap right there. Actually, there's was a little blemish on my lens, so I took the lens off and cleaned the inside, both inside surfaces. I think some moisture got on the inside. We'll see what happens during this trip. I mean, I certainly couldn't see a scratch or anything on the exterior. But the last couple videos, there's been a like a watermark on the lens, and it must, liquid fluid must have got to the inside. With my cooling system for my, as a matter of fact, I'll put the cooling system on now. It's only water, gentlemen. Oh man, just amping out on some serious elk hunt videos and mule deer videos. I prefer the elk hunt. I prefer archery. Watched a video of a couple of a Remy Warren ram hunt here in the desert. Very familiar with that. You know, having been in the desert here myself. Remy is from Nevada, I guess. But he was doing some hunting off the Colorado River, Lake Mead area in Nevada, hunting ram. He did tag out, of course. He always does, just about. He's an apex predator. I wasn't going to go this morning. Go ahead. I got up at 3:30. I was kicking it with my coffee, and it's about, oh, I forgot my watch. It's a little after 5, probably. So I'm just going to go for a little ride while it's comfortable to ride. Man, I love being able to take my bike inside of here because I don't like parking it in the driveway. I always, for whatever reason, get tied up doing some bullshit. Okay, no helmet today. I can live with that. I did want to put some air in my tires, but I didn't have time. I mean, it's not absolutely critical that they have air. Let me make sure my zipper is closed. Okay, everything looks good, guys. This is essentially like going, I can't, legally, I can't ride my dirt bike out of my house. Although, people do it, but every time I ride, take my rig out, that's my Can-Am Maverick, gentlemen. Every time I take my rig out and ride it around the block a few times, the cops drive by my house. So I have a neighbor that calls the cops on me. Whenever I ride it, even with my dirt bike sometimes. You know, when I ride it a little bit in the neighborhood, somebody calls the cops. Probably the people right across from me. Their backyard has got an open, not an open, but I mean, not a block wall, but a gate where you can see through, and they can see me all the time in my front yard. And you know, I don't know if it's them, but we don't exactly get along. I mean, how can we get along? We don't, you know, we don't. They've been there for 4 or 5 years, and I don't even know who they are. Retired couple, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Don't really do anything, just stay home and watch TV. And she likes to talk loud on her cell phone in her backyard. Probably to her mother or sister or something, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, that's beside the point. Just a beautiful day, just go for a ride. Let me make sure the camera's on. It is, okay. Let me check that angle. I think we're looking good for angle. Forgot my watch this morning. At least I remembered my lights. Tail light, my headlight. You got to take them upstairs and charge them. I set them on the computer table and charge them every time when I'm done with the ride. Good morning. Good morning. Get it in number 3 gear. We're doing a little pedal assist this morning. Yeah, we get our nice little... You can't be gullible, gentlemen. I do carry my Walther with me, open carry, belly holster, open carry. Uh-oh. Geez, I hope the filming is good with that little glitch I have in my lens. I hope it's not a scratched lens. You know, you don't see any scratch on it. I really haven't brushed it up against anything. I did brush it up against my, it did hit the door frame. I don't know if the lens hit it or not, but the door frame as I was going out one day, but that was a few weeks ago and there was nothing wrong with the lens after that. So I didn't strike it. I'd say it's probably 85 degrees if I had to put a number at it. Kind of warm. We're gonna take it slow and easy. We don't want to kill a rabbit today. Let's. We got a dude here that, you know, whatever it is, he fucking does. Kung Fu Pete. He's like balancing on a 12-inch wide concrete bench down there. Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. Anything intriguing in the news here? We had a couple in Florida. They're out on the, I don't know what you would call it, ocean, some portage coming in off the ocean, and on their boat, and their dog jumped out. Okay, so we can't go like we normally go because you got all those trees knocked over there. Their dog jumped out of their boat, and they're not sure when he jumped out, but they did try to, they went back and zigzagged and everything trying to find the dog that jumped out of the boat. And evidently they looked for quite a while, and they were about to run out of fuel, so they had to give up looking, so they thought their dog drowned. Someone else seen the dog in the water, scooped it up, and you know, they were reunited with the original owner. The dog was reunited with the original owners. You know, they posted something on the news about the dog being scooped up, and they heard it on the news and said, "That's our dog." I love those kind of stories. Also, we had, I believe there was 4 Rottweiler puppies and a mother Rottweiler that were rescued from the park fire. You know, people had them in their car broke down, they were trying to flee the fire, and you know, they had to get out of the car and run, and they couldn't take the dogs, they couldn't take the puppies or the dogs, or there was 2 mama dogs, 6 puppies, I believe, Rottweilers, and you know, they recovered 1 mama dog and 4 puppies, but they cannot find the other mama dog and 2 puppies, and they probably perished in the fire, park fire. But a nice story, man. I read those stories all the time. Then you had this guy, a Nevada resident. He was lucky enough, this happened a few years ago, but he was lucky enough to draw a elk tag rifle. And, you know, he went and scouted the zone where he was able to hunt, and, you know, did some serious scouting of the area. You know, included a bunch of his friends, you know, in the hunt with. Morning. A bunch of his friends wanted to be part of the hunt with him, you know, with glassing from different angles and stuff like that. And, you know, they set up a big tent and, you know, had a stove and everything, a generator. And I mean, he had like, at peak point, I think he had like 6 or 7 of his 6 or 7 total people there, you know what I mean, including himself. And they needed it because they shot a bull elk, big bull elk, down inside of a canyon, and they had to hike down into they popped him from the top. And they had to hike down inside the canyon and then hike out of it, and it was brutal. And, you know, between 6 or 7 guys, it was much easier to hike out, you know, however many pounds of meat that was, 400 pounds plus a head, you know, with the head and everything, and the rack. morning. But yeah, you know, clinking a bull elk from the top of the canyon, the rim of the canyon, down into the canyon. I don't know how far they didn't range the shot, but I'm certain it was probably 400 yards plus. A few years ago, that's what generated my interest in getting back into hunting. Was I wanted to hunt a bull elk. You know, you would get a tag. You would do everything. You would bow hunt it, rifle hunt it if you didn't tag out. But it's a draw system. Passing through. Good deal. Thank you. Thank you. You're unlikely to get a chance to. You could apply for a tag for 12 years. You might be lucky to get one. Maybe. And then you're dead for 7 years before you can get another one. Or a drawing for one. Essentially, it's a hunt of a lifetime. You will get only one shot at it if you are lucky. And you need a bunch of dudes. You need a bunch of bros to help you get that thing out. Certainly at least 1 or 2 bros. Okay, I know there's glass here somewhere. On the left side, not this side. What'd you do, get a flat? But yeah, it's very unlikely that you'll get a kill. Morning. Very unlikely that you'll get a kill right next to the road. Some road where you can ride your UTV, you know what I'm saying? More than likely, you're gonna have to pack out serious pounds of elk meat. An elk rack skull. I mean, you're not gonna, you know, you're gonna take the skull at least. If not, take the whole fucking head and do a taxidermy. A taxidermist. But essentially, I would never get a shot at it. Not only that, like I said, you need a bunch of buddies, you know, to help you out getting that shit out. Buddies that are into the hunting scene and into backpacking and fit to do stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you, let's just say if that dude that shot that in that canyon, deep in that canyon, oh my God, if he had, just him and a buddy, oh man, they would have had to go back down there. They would have had to go back down 3 times with 2 people to haul that shit out. It was so steep coming out of that canyon. I mean, you can't take 90 pounds of, well, maybe you can, but 90 pounds coming out of that steep canyon, oh my God, on your back. But keep in mind, they had a cameraman too, so that was a Go Hunt video, GoHunt.com. So you know what I'm saying, Go Hunt is pretty big. They employ quite a few hunters, and you know, once they, you know, Go Hunt pays for all their $803.45 non-resident elk tag, over the counter elk OTC elk tag, and you know what I'm saying, they pay for all that shit. They get them all set up and everything. They get set up, the camera guy comes with them, and they get paid to do this shit. That's their fucking job. And there's one dude, man, I think his name is Brady Miller. This dude is a fucking animal. He hunts on the top at 10,000 foot elevation in Colorado. I mean, Idaho, it's his home state, I think. In November, October, I guess, or whatever it is, but there's snow. It's extremely cold. I mean, this guy's got icicles on his beard. You have to be fucking really fucking into that. That's brutally cold. Now, he had a tent. He always made fires. He's got a small tent that he can put a fireplace in. All kinds of shit like that. You would need that up there. Dude, without a fireplace inside of your tent, you would die. I don't care what kind of sleeping bag you got. You would be dead. And he's up there, oh yeah, hunting with one of his buddies that also is employed by Go Hunt, Chris Neville. They did a hunt too, same thing, up there in the cold Idaho. Dude, you've got to be fucking motivated to do that shit. That's a very difficult hunt. Most hunters could not do that. They would say, fuck this shit, I'm going home. Only the hardest core of the hardest core hunters can hunt where you have icicles on your beard. Let's see if I can remember the logistics on this. This guy had this Brady Miller, Chris Neville, both work for Go Hunt. They almost got stuck with their truck. You know, there were 6 inches of snow on the ground, 8 more inches came, and they were in a spot where they had to make it up an incline to get out of there. And they had to put chains on their truck. They had to do a lot of shoveling, every fucking thing. And they just made it out by the skin of their fucking teeth. They got to the crest of the hill, and from there it's downhill all the way. But they almost didn't make it, guys. That's the point. Those are brutal conditions. I don't think I could do it in that kind of snow. No, I'm from Michigan. Yes. Actually, we did hunt in snow like that. Whitetail. But man, I know, I mean, we camped in a trailer, you know, had a Coleman stove. You would put a Coleman, my old man, I even to this day, I wonder how the fuck we didn't die from carbon monoxide poisoning. I mean, the trailer was very drafty. Four guys in a small trailer. Deer hunting. Green. I hit something back there. We started looking to see if anything fell off my rig. I heard something. I ran over a piece of metal or something. GoPro, stop recording.